Good afternoon. Welcome to Eretz Israel. We are holding in a new Torah in Likutei Moran, Kuf, Torah 100. And he starts off with a solid statement that should give us little faith, If not faith in ourselves, faith in God, faith in others. Which others? The righteous in every generation. Kulam kedoshim u'tocham Hashem. They're all holy, all the righteous people, and God is in all of them. So when sometimes you hear Jews arguing about rabbis, and it reminds me a little bit about arguing about like sports teams, lahavdil, a clear separation, but still, it's appealing to a certain trait in our tree of life personality profile. There's a quality called nitzachon, victory. And part of that is wanting victory, and sometimes people get their victories over arguing with their friends about things that they're a little bit out of their league, to argue about the righteousness of other people. However, we see with the sense of sight, there are righteous people. Asher mizgam tiv'am tova me'od, that their nature. Now, mizgam is from the same word for climate. Their inner climate, their spiritual, emotional climate is very healthy. And tivam, their nature is very good. V'tovim me'mer l'kol, and they're good to everybody. They don't make distinctions. Oh, I'm nice to them, but to them I don't show a smile, etc. No, they're good to everybody. But yesh asher hu tzadik emet, and there is another level called the Tzadik Emet, the true righteous person. And even though they're truly righteous, their nature is not so pleasant to everybody else. What's he talking about? A guy who's righteous, you think he's pleasant to everybody else, but it's not so simple. There are people who are very righteous and hard to be around. Or let's see. Sometimes you see from those righteous people, they're truly righteous, but they still have anger and they still have strictness on situations or others. Behold, it is known, but all the righteousness that people acquire, it's from the Torah. It's not something they found in a book, in another book, or from a New Age book. I've read a lot of New Age books, and there's interesting things in there, but it doesn't give you that foundation of center of gravity that you get in the Torah. Because the Torah is the teacher of the way. The way to become close to Hashem. And from the Torah we take righteousness, every person. Tzadik asher isig me'or gadol me'or haTorah, and a righteous person who grasps and receives the great light of the Torah. And their deeds are also equivalent to what they learn. It's not just that they learn. Their deeds and their learnings are on an equivalent high level. And his deeds are matching what he understands in the Torah. Then, when a person's righteousness, his deeds, are matching the level of his comprehension. See, if you see a guy who's really intelligent and sees high things, but he does low things, doesn't really match up. And if you see a guy who does really high things, but he doesn't really know too much, you wonder about that too. So we really need to have a balance in these matters. when they're balanced and his righteousness and his Torah learning are equivalent, Roshnehem mityashvim, and they both rest together well with him, with pleasantness and ease. You know, that ease of self that you see in some people and not in others. Therefore, people, they get pleasantness from being around him. He's easy to be with. He settles the turbid waters of our soul. Tzadik asher ora ka'achmat Torah shesi gedola me'od me'asav. But the tzaddik, whose righteousness and his comprehension of Torah is very high, more than his good deeds, what happens? Where does the unbalance show up? Azai haTorah meratachat bo ha'ish hakedusha shel Torah. Then the fire of the Torah is boiling inside him. It's not sitting well. It's keeping him anxious, or I want to say anxious, that's the wrong word. He calls it the boiling of fire. Such a person, it's very difficult for him to get along with people. He has a problem. Or maybe, the people's problems don't sit well with him, and he has a hard time hearing about them and knowing about them. Ma'arevet im hamon am, como hatzadik anal. And this person, the person who has the balance of learning and good deeds, then he's easy for the people to be with, and he mixes with the majority of the people very well. Whereas the one who has a lot of learning and understanding, but he doesn't have quite the same level of mixing with the people to get along with them so well, Zeh shamru chazal, such a person, Hai tzorba mirabanan daratach, the great rabbi that is ratach, he's hot, he's spicy, he's hard to get along with sometimes. Oraita daka meratacha bae. It's the Torah that's boiling inside him. Lefi shegadla torato me'od. Because his Torah is so great, he is not able to hold it in such a calm and easy and peaceful way. And other people can. And so when you meet rabbis that either they rub you this way or they rub you that way, know where it's coming from. Either his Torah is too great for his deeds, or his deeds are too great for his Torah, or there's a perfect balance and he's settled and centered and, like we said, has a good gravity about him. And gravity, Rabbi Nachman explains elsewhere, is a spiritual gravity, that gravity that pulls people together. And that's why God gave us the Torah, that we should be united together. Have a great week. We'll be in touch. All the best.